It's true. What is on your face?
Buddha the spread for me, boy.
Alright, everybody, hello, welcome back to my channel. This is John. If this is your first time, let me load this, just in case you guys can hear this. Lower volume, there you go. If this is your first time to my channel, basically I just tell stories, and tell stories about my past, about my 10 years in prison, the fights, not the fights I won, which they go on and on. I tell about the fights I lose and get my ass handed to me bad, you know. I talk about the girls that I did not get, not the girls that I got, you know. I basically tell the bad stories about myself, the stuff that nobody would tell about themselves, you know, just to keep myself out there and open, you know, transparent, you know, nothing hidden. But I always said that if people leave comments below saying they would like to see a video about this or like to see a video about that, I'll go right to it. I'll make a video right about to it. And I just went to YouTube Studio, which, like I said, I sometimes forget, you know, the brain damage, I sometimes forget about it. And there was like a whole bunch of comments that for some reason not all of them get approved. I have to approve them. I don't know why, and I always do. There's like another 10 comments approved and answered because I respond to everybody, even if it's just a thumbs up and a heart, or I pin them to the top. But I don't just do that. I usually at least say something, you know, because I'm not a huge 1 million subscriber or video channel where I'm just gonna get a ridiculous amount of comments. I get enough comments where it's more than dealable, definitely more than dealable. I'd like more. I definitely like a lot more. It's my way to socialize with you guys, but you do what you do, and you know, I'm happy with what you do. So, and if you've been here before, you already know what time it is, you know. You already know about my stories, you know, especially if you've been in this from the beginning. Those beginning stories, the ones I'll go back to them. I'll start going back to them more, but you know, it's just me trying to like do better stories to like get more of an audience, but it's kind of not working out as good as I was hoping. You know, like my old videos got like 5,500 views, 4,500 views, 1,300 views, you know, like 700. It's like kind of, you know, a lighter view of one of my vids, but now they're like 25, 75, 55, you know. I know it takes time, you know, they'll probably still catch up. Some of the views on some of the channels, like shows about, videos about, like my shadow, one of them has over 300 already. So, you know, some of them, I know it takes time, but I got to stop trying to be so good, you know what I mean? Like, it's just me trying to be good, but it's not for everybody. That's why I'm asking you guys to hit the like button. Even if you don't like that video, hit the like button to get me into other people's, it'll be requested, you know, suggested, and I'll get more of a subscriber audience. I only got, I think, 230 something subs, but with almost 24,000 views, so it's definitely a little lopsided. But let's get to the point. I was asked by Danielle or Danielle. I'm not good at reading or spelling. Martin, 2007, wanted me to talk about weed, you know, and how, you know, I guess I grew up with it and stuff like that, which will be the first half of it, because it'll be a little shorter. But I was also asked by capital A, and then space, capital S for score, A score, asked me to talk about, he also wrote an amazing comment, I got to talk about that, but he asked me to talk about how my, and I'll keep my hat off for it, how my, you know, being in jail and having traumatic brain injury happening there, how it affects my life and how I'm learning to deal with it, you know, just how I'm getting by day to day and any negative effects because of it, you know, which there is plenty, and I'm dealing with them regularly. And this channel is helping me out a lot, believe me. Helps me get my mind out of here, puts me in here. And that's why I also do this a lot. You know, it takes me out of here, puts me in right there. So, but A Score also wrote a comment, because I guess he finally seen one of the things where I really had a lot longer, but it was just that one was saved on like I guess in the cloud, I have with all the, from all their phones, like the cameras and the videos and stuff like that. And I put it on there about me cutting this guy's hair. I used to cut his hair when I first came home because all through prison, everybody knows John cuts hair. Black, white, Spanish, straight hair, curly hair, it don't matter. Long hair, like a haircut, I cut hair. Not in the barbershop. I do it with the facial trimmers. I'm a beast. And how that started is I'd fade my own hair by looking at the little mirror against the big mirror, where you brush your teeth and shave, and I'd fade my own hair. Fade, not just Caesar, one clip, one blade, no fade. Fade it with no line, and the shit looked amazing. I haven't cut my hair in a long time, so you really can't see it. I'll cut it. I'm cutting it tomorrow, but all my haircuts, all of them are all mine. I haven't cut this in like a week and some change, so it's definitely due. And I'm getting my head looked at Tuesday. Hopefully that little bit of fluid is getting taken out, but I know how to edge up perfectly, because I know I'm going a little bit this way, so I don't push nobody back. I'd rather do not enough, and when you're looking at it, you're saying, yeah, sharpen it up a little bit, then go too far, and all of a sudden I gave you like some other shit. So he was like, that was great, seeing the conversation I was having with the guy, and that was great. I used to cut his hair when we were in the shelter together, but I moved to a different shelter, and wasn't really in a shelter where I was at. It was just 5 of us to a house, and there was no staff. It was just like, it was like a spa house almost. It was like you have your own apartment, but cut his hair. He would take the bus to see me. I'd cut his hair every time he needed it, and we had great talk. He's a great guy. I hope he sees these videos, you know what I mean? Like, or if anybody does know him, says, yo, John's still like even mentioning, like, good guy. He's a good guy. And he'd pay me up front. Boom, boom, boom. Even if he didn't need the haircut yet, and I needed like, say, cigarettes or something like that, boom, he'd just give me a pack, He was a good dude. Definitely a good dude. I'll speak on behalf of him and say he's a good dude. But the guy at his school said, he liked that talk I had with him. He liked the way I was cutting his hair and the relationship I had with him. And, not literally, but it almost brought like a tear to him, like seeing like two men, grown men. You don't have to be like, yo, what's up, nigga? You don't have to be like that. You just cut hair and just chop it up, Everybody always would say when I was in prison, why don't you go to the barbershop? But the thing is, in the barbershop, you got to deal with a lot of personalities. You know what I'm saying? I want to cut people's hair who I want to cut. And I want to cut them when I want to cut them. Not when the barbershop's telling me. And all these thousands of people, and then they're trying to give me stamps, which are worthless now, to like do special things for them. No. Just, the barbershop's not for me, even though you get the real clippers and stuff like that, but I can do just fine when I want to do it with the, the Norelcos and Panasonics. You guys who've been upstate know about that. I started with the Panasonics, the Norelcos, the clear ones, but the Panasonics were my best. Even though when you hit the number 1, like the fade was easier to do a number 1 on instead of a 0, because a 0 to a number 1 was such a difference. It wasn't like the Norelco 0 to number 1. Norelco 0 to number 1 was so close that you could really skin fade. I was still able to skill it with the Panasonic, but I kind of did my own, mostly a 1 to 3, But that was cool of you, A-Score. I really appreciate that. I know I make these videos. Yeah, I make them myself. I'm doing them right now. I'm killing some time. I'm talking to you guys, even though you guys aren't talking back, but I'm talking to you. But I do it for you. I do it for you guys. Cause I did a lot of bad stuff growing up, and I did a lot of bad stuff, evil stuff. Nothing bad, something. Nothing crazy. Don't let your mind go somewhere. But I did a lot of bad stuff. A lot of people got robbed. A lot of places got robbed. Just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of the way I was acting. A lot of the people I was fighting. Even when I was a little kid, I'd pick on people in front of people because they were way, way bigger than me. But they knew I was a fighter. So if they got out of line, I'd just mollywop them right in the I did stupid stuff. It was cool back then with the quotation marks. But then look at me now. Right now, this ain't even my room. This is my mommy and daddy's room. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted me out, like, before I even got here. So, like, those are the cool people because they're the ones living in their own place. They're married or have a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, and have 2 cars, the fence around the yard, the dog. And I don't have none of that. You know what I mean? I can't even drive myself to down the road. I gotta walk, or take my medical companies, But my life ain't as all good as it, is chopped up. I just do make the best out of it. So let me get to these stories. I'll do the weed one first. I'll tell you as much as I can about it. I started when I was 12 years old, I guess you could say. I was hanging out with this one guy. He was one of the big guys. If he had just a little bit of heart, maybe he has the heart now. Maybe he has the heart now. So I'm not saying he don't have the heart now. I'm talking about back then, or maybe he just was just like too good for stupid shit like that. But he was a big guy, and I would always fight him like at least once a year. But he was also my friend. It was like weird relationships back then. But he would also have this homegrown weed that he would take from his dad, and every time I smoked it with him, I'd always say, "Yo, I'm not getting hot. I'm getting my drink." I'd say, "I'm not getting hot. Like, I'm not feeling anything." So I started thinking, I can't get high from weed. You know what I mean? Like, homegrown should at least do something. It's regular weed, as far as I knew. Like, you can grow fucking dro in your own home. You know what I mean? Like exotics even. But I started thinking I couldn't get high. So this one day, I'm not gonna say where, but I was somewhere. I wasn't somewhere where I shouldn't have been. Believe me, I would have. It was us, and I was just looking for some pornos. We were 12 years old, and I found a lot of weed. I'm not gonna say where, but I found a lot of bounced up weed, hash ball about this big. I didn't know what it was, so I took the hash ball, took a bunch of weed, bought myself the TurboGrafx 16 Duo set with the cartridge and the CD, and I just started, went to smoke for my first time. And one was with that kid that had that homegrown, that was my friend for like my whole childhood, pretty much. He's doing good now too. If you do see any of these videos, you or your girl, congratulations to both of you. Got my respects, honestly. And he was there. He was supposed to like sleep over my house, and we were with this other guy, Brian, who I fought in 8th grade. Right? If you guys went to school, you remember I fought him. That was my second suspension. You know what I mean? Like my first suspension, I think, was because of Bill. I think it was my first, and I came back, and then I fought Brian right in the middle of the whole 8th grade, and I won. I had him crying. You know what I mean? And he was supposed to be like the second, first. Sometimes he was the first, sometimes he was second. We would rate who was the strongest, toughest, in school. But I don't go by that. A fight, anybody could lose a fight unless you're Mayweather, apparently. But Mayweather lost a few, and I could get into that. But one punch in the butt and you're down. So I don't go by that shit. But yeah, it was us three. Went to my woods right by here, and it was my weed. It was just some crazy redhead bud. And I was just like, yo, I'm not going to get high. And we decided to pack a fat one, just pack it. And I kept smoking. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to get high. I don't get high off this weed. And then I noticed these guys were about a quarter mile ahead of me, walking away. And I was still saying, I don't get high. I can't get high off this. Meanwhile, they weren't a quarter mile ahead. They were like 5 or 8 steps ahead of me, but like, that's how high I was. That was my first time ever getting high off weed. I was like, holy shit, wait up. And I felt like I was walking through Jello, running through Jello, but I wasn't, like to catch up to them. And the guy Brian left, and I was cool. I wasn't paranoid high. I was having fun high, you know what I mean? Like, told Bill I might come back to my house. We'll sit Indian style in my living room, just watching TV, and then watch TV in my room, like we always do. Kids, when we were younger, we used to all sleep over each other's houses. When we were young, that's what we did. I don't know if things changed now in the year 2021, but that's what we did. Guys all slept over each other's houses. Like, that was the thing. Like, sometimes it was 8 of us hanging out. We'd all be chilling with girls. The girls would have to leave, and we'd just be fucking drinking. We'd just pass out. We'd wake up, handle our business, go to our houses, shower, and hang out with the girl, some girls, and just skateboard and just do our thing. And he must have been really high because he was acting nervous high, like sitting Indian style watching TV, where he was like, yo, that's it. I'm going to have my parents pick me up. I think I got to go. And I was like, are you kidding me? You're not going to even sleep over and like chill with me? Like, this is the first time I'm actually feeling high? He's like, no, I gotta go. So I'm like, all right, man. So he left. But, so that's when I started. That was my first time actually smoking and getting high. And, like, I made that a habit, you know? Like, I kept getting it until it blew up my face. That's more private. But, yeah, like, a couple times me and the guy Bill would smoke a lot. You know, I was always cutting school. I skipped a grade. I was smart. I was very smart. I was smart enough to where I had high school credits before I went to high school. I was already in 10th grade, going into 9th grade. That's when I was in 8th grade, middle school, I was taking 9th grade high school courses, you know what I mean? Like, but like, I graduated on time because I got left back and I always did the summer school, and then I graduated from night school. But yeah, a couple times we smoked, we had this problem. I'll tell this story real quick, actually. And we were in a technology, me and the guy Bill, and we were talking about like other races, how they were contributing to the workforce, and I agreed with that. I totally agree with that, because there isn't just only Irish people working in America. There isn't only African. There isn't only Italian. There isn't. It's not only one ethnicity. It's everybody. So I even said it at the time when my dad works for the same boss, but works different company wise. Like, the company switched. Only my dad kept that job. All 200 something people below my dad all had to get fired, but my dad was that important. He had to get kept, and he's still kept. But at the time, you know, like, good 75% of the guys where their ethnicity was Spanish. I was like, my dad had to know Spanish, you know, to help communicate the stuff to keep going a little quicker. And the guy Bill was talking about like the 7-Eleven guys. Then he went into that, and then Bill was going into just making fun of the Indians, like, oh, you know, like that, like Apu from Simpsons, like that type of voice. We weren't being racist, neither of us were. We were just having fun. But this girl, and I know her name, I'm not gonna say her name in case she's still around here, but I'll say her first name, Layla. She turned around and yelled. She was really yelling at Bill, but like, I'm with Bill, so like, yelling at us, you know. She's like yelling at us. I'm like, yo, like, nobody was saying anything bad. She was Spanish, and she probably thought Bill was making fun of Spanish people because I said something about my dad learned Spanish to be able to more easily and faster communicate, even though, you know, Santa Maria, we're Italian, you know, it's the same language. It's very, very close. But I was like, yo, turn back the fuck around. I was like, nobody was making fun of anybody. Relax, just calm yourself and relax. And then she wound up getting all these people involved in it, you know, like, that was Spanish. But the thing was, not him. I'm cool with everybody. And everybody knows about me. Like, if you're gonna come to me with some shit, make it worth it. Because whether I win or I lose, I'm going for it. You know what I mean? So everybody who's around in the hallway is gonna see it. You know what I mean? Even if I do, you could vote I lost, I'm gonna just still know I was there. So motherfucking back, yo, I got John, man. He was putting brakes on that motherfucker. He was beating him pretty bad for a little bit, but John didn't get to keep it, you know, the whole way. You know, but I don't care. So, but the other guy got picked on a lot. He got picked on a lot. So they were going for him. And we wound up having to do this thing because me and him left and we smoked. I think we cut school or something, and we went to his house, and his parents and my parents were pulling up in front of his house. I think they knew we were there. I think we said we left because of Bill was having a problem, and because he lived right by the elementary school and the high school, because they're right next to each other. And they were coming up the driveway, and you know, back then you used to, well, I used to, when you used to smoke, you used to get the laughs where it don't matter if it's a cop coming to you with a flashlight, you cannot stop dying and laughing. You just have no control over it. You're telling the other guy, shut the fuck up, you're making me laugh. And he's the one yelling at you like, you're doing it. You know, that's what we were doing. We were cracking up the whole time. They were walking up to the door, the front door, to come to the house, and we shut up at the right time. And you know, we settled it because we wound up having to do something during the 8th grade, you know, because 8th graders went to lunch at the same time. So we had to do like some sort of like an apology on the mic, and Bill does this whole huge thing because he was scared. You know, I respect it. People were picking on him. I respect that. You know what I mean? Like, you could be 1,000 feet tall. If you're getting picked on by like 98 people, you know, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, so I respect that. He was getting picked on by a lot of people because he was too good, I think, to fight back. I don't think he was scared. I think he was too good for that shit. That's what I really think it was. And people were picking on him because he was so big and they were winning and they were getting brownie points for that. You know, like they were moving up on the scale. You know, I've used that even plenty of times myself. I'm not gonna lie, you know, and nobody's perfect, you know. But all that kid had to do was just get angry and it's over for you, though. You know what I mean? Like, the kid was that big. So was his brother. I'm friends with his brother. I mean, there's two brothers, but I'm friends with the middle brother, Jay. What's up, Jay? If you've seen any of this. But yeah, and then when it came to me, I said some slick shit, like, if you're feeling some type of way, like, didn't mean to make anybody feel some type of way. If you do it, you do. And I just put the mic down and just walked away. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? I didn't say shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you got something to say, like, this is some, let's tell on each other shit. Like, come on. Like, there's something, let's deal with it after school, like men. Well, just leave me the fuck alone because I didn't do nothing wrong. You know, at least ask a motherfucker what happened. But no one was fucking with me. They were really fucking with him. But I kind of got, like, dragged into it with, like, staff to help. But whatever. That was another weed story about laughing and shit like that. But I used to come home smoking weed, just smelling like weed, and just pet my dogs to try to look normal. Hey, and then just run in my room and hide. You know what I mean? Because I'd be so fucking stoned. I'd just eat a box of cereal in one day. It wouldn't even be funny. Finish a whole ice cream pint. I can still do that now without even smoking. But that's me smoking. I used to smoke. I'm not even lying. But when I was with my wife, her brother, he's dead now. He killed himself in the Max because in 2016, you guys around here know about this. He killed someone on Middle Country Road in Middle Island, where Kmart used to be in Fashionable. It's closed down, but the stores itself are there. And he killed a dope dealer, shot him twice in the heart and once in the face, or the other way around, and then tried to drag his body into like this, no wooded area, but there's woods there. He tried to drag him there, went to his wife's job with all blood on him. She kicked him out, called the cops on him. They found him at his house with the weapon, and all the blood's still on him. So he tried to fight, he got 25 to life, said fuck it, killed himself, you know? And the murder happened in 2016. Mike was the guy's name, first name that did it. You know, so I could pretty much say Dirk Schneider. You know, that's his name. You know, so you could probably look him up. He's got new stuff. That was my brother-in-law. I kicked the shit out of him too. I thought I was gonna lose, but I kicked the shit out of him. But whatever. So yeah, I mean, like, that was just me and smoke weed. But me and him used to smoke. I'm not joking. I don't lie. None of my shit. At least 5 blunts a day, and I'm talking about like the blunts were. I mean, I just was seeing what these younger people doing. They're buying just like these wraps, you know, like they're just like basically if you take a blunt and crack it down the middle, take all this stuff out and roll it like a joint. Like, no, when I did it, you put your saliva on it so it's not too dry, and you take the whole leaf off. Take the whole leaf off. Take the leaf, you know, you lick it so it's still malleable. It'll remove, then I'll crack. Now you got the brown cigar. You split it down to half. Take all this, the crap out. Then you take the cancer paper part off. That's where they glued it and it stuck together. Take that off. Then you roll the blunt with just that cigar paper. Roll it like it's a joint. You know, bam, bam, bam. Then you get the leaf wet, put the leaf down, start it on the angle, and then you just push it up. Or you could do it a little bit while you're going, and you have a perfect blunt. A fucking perfect blunt. I roll. I know how to roll. Even still to this day. That's something you don't forget. I know how to roll. You know, and yeah, it was like 5 blunts a day, like, and it wouldn't even get you high that well. And we got good shit. I mean, I got good shit. Don't get me wrong. I was getting fucking Northern Lights back then, you know. Even before my time in prison, I was getting Kush. You know, I was getting good. Always getting good shit. Always. Around where I'm from, if you're not from where I'm from, yeah, at least in my time. I don't know about now. I'm saying my time was up to 2009. We don't have regs. You know what I'm saying? Our regs is dro. That's regs. You know what I mean? Like, regs, you got to go to the hood and they sell these big bags for like $5 and they're like, just these regs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that shit. You know, I'll pay $20 for a dub. You know what I mean? That's what you get. You're getting a dub, and I'll roll. Honestly, I'd roll a blunt out of it, but you could roll 2 blunts out of it and shit, and share it with like a friend or two, you know. But I'd roll it in 1 blunt. But that is my weed story. If you want any more graphic stuff, certain stuff about weed, let me know. I did try to sell it a few times. A monkey can't sell bananas. I'd smoke all my shit. And I'd either owe the guy and I'd have to pay him out of work, or, you know, it just wouldn't work out. But, all right, that was for you. I'll say the person's name again who asked me to talk about weed. Danielle Martin, 2007. I hope that was good enough for you. If you want more, just tell me you want some more, some specific stuff, and I'll tell you more. It's already 25 minutes. I want to get to the other guy. I got brain damage. You guys know that, and I'll try to make you see it. The hair's longer, but it goes all around here. It's I got it from in 2018. I was released from prison. I did my 9 years. I maxed out on my bid. I maxed out, plus the violation, plus my original. It was just, look me up, 10R1186. It's on the New York DOC inmate lookup.com page. You can Google it, and all you need to know is my name or my DIN. I just gave my DIN, 10R1186, plus my name is right here. You got my name, John Santamoro. You know what I mean? Like, you can see, I'm a predicate violent. Those bids ran. It sucked. It sucked. I got out in 2018 in August, and then I got caught with, in my wallet, in my own wallet, right here, I had a few Suboxones. Not a few, I had 30, 35, because I was in a shelter. That was where I cut that guy's hair. You know, I was in a shelter, and I figured, since there's no locks on doors, and it's a narcotic, and people like that, and it's worth money, if I'm leaving, I was going to parole. You gotta show your wallet parole. So parole didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand that. But I was like, you know what? If I'm robbed, which I never probably would be. That's just how I am, because I just was in prison for all the time. If I'm ever robbed, at least I usually keep 30. And then when I get down to 30, I don't have them, the other ones. I just keep taking them out of my wallet, and then I get my new script. But I have 10 days, because I was taking 3 a day, to, I guess, get a police report, whatever I need. I would say, I don't know what happened to it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say, oh, hey, I'm not like that. You just, to get more, I think you need to have one. So I'd say, I don't know. It could have been, fell out of when I went on the bus. I just have to write it because I have to get a new script. You know, whatever I have to do. I never had to do it, so I don't know what you have to do, but it'd give me time to get a new script, you know? And on the way back, I was supposed to meet a girl, and the girl I never seen her again after meeting her. But she turned into, still on her phone. She wouldn't talk to me. It would only be text. It wound up being a state trooper. Like, I was meeting her at my last bus stop. I got a gun put to my head because the car light was flashing. I was supposed to walk to the car. The guy came out and said, put your hands on the hood of my car. And I told the guy I was with, I think I'm here to get robbed. There's no reason for both of us to get robbed. Let me walk up to it. If I whistle you over or say, yo, come here, everything's all good. Come on, everything's fine. If I don't do that, if I look like I'm getting up, get the fuck out of here. We don't need to both be robbed. Just get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I'll be all right, you know? And if they got a gun, they can have everything, even the underwears I'm wearing. And that's what happened. The guy put the gun out, told him to put the hands on the hood of his car, and I did that. I thought I was getting robbed. But state trooper cars came up and started searching me, and I didn't do nothing. So from the Philippines, I'll answer them later. But yeah, she's getting one of the giveaway stuffs. But I didn't have nothing on me, like everything sharp, anything on pocus, like needles. I'm like, no, I don't have nothing. I just came back from parole. They got to my wallet, and I'm like, be careful, because I don't want you to drop all my meds on the floor. You know, those are my meds, are in my wallet. They got to him, like, you got a script for these? I was like, yo, it's 2019. Everything is done now. From I'm wearing the headphones for my speaker, you know, so I can, because I know I'm a little further away. But I was like, it's 2019. It's all done through the computer. There's no scripts. Even if they did give me a script, the first place I filled it keeps it. So you don't go to 1,000 pharmacies to refill it. I was like, as a matter of fact, right here, the same parking lot we're in right now, is where I filled it 2 days ago. Can't you just call them and make sure these are mine? Like, nah, we're gonna lock you up for this. If it's yours, they're just gonna release you. They gave me a felony for it. You know what I mean? Because it was the amount I had, like a stupid felony. And I got the charge dropped. And parole violated me, not for any of that. Arrest, nothing, traffic spot, nothing, for breaking curfew. because I was in the Brentwood Police Barracks, State Trooper Barracks, overnight instead of where I belonged. Meanwhile, they know why I was in there, forgetting that in my wallet, found the way home for parole. Like, parole really screwed me over on that one, you know, and those state troopers and parole is why I'm screwed up for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? So that's what happened. I went to the jail, and I was still getting this box and eggs. I was really on it. They have to tape you off it now. Now they used to keep you on it, but now they tape you off it, and they kept me on it because I was really on it. They had proof, you know, and I was gonna be all right. And I don't want to go into the long story, but I did something for somebody. He was gonna get beat up for stealing some guy's drugs out of his cell when he went to court. Meanwhile, your door is locked when you're at court. The CO is not stupid enough to open it up because they write down court, medical. I have family that works I know what they do. You know what I mean? So I tried to stick up for him. He was an old Jewish guy. I was like, you're not going to beat him up for that shit. I'm like, you're going to go back in and check. I'm like, you guys cut these up into 16 pieces. One Listerine strip. I'll even show you what these fucking things look like. And you can see how small the fucking piece they would be. This piece right here, and it's not the whole thing. I got to take one, so I'll actually open it, but I won't take it now. I'm going to open it up so you guys can see it. It's pathetic what they charge. I was getting 90 for 3, all right? For $3, 90 of them. Legally, of course, but 90 for 3. And see how big this is? See it compared to me? It's $50 by itself upstate. Or 3 for $100. Some spots, or if you're an official dude, you would get like 5 for $100 or whatever. But they cut that itty bitty thing up into 16s. Like, this is an 8 milligram strip. So if you cut it up in 8 pieces, they're millis, they're a brick. But then if you cut the milli in half, you got a 16th. So you're not going to find these pieces all the time in your book if you're like being a retard. So I told him, go back, go check your shit again before you start, throwing a temper tantrum and blaming some fucking old Jewish guy because he's an old Jewish guy. And he made it sound like everything was all right. Because if he made it sound like there was a problem, we would have handled it right there. I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, but he made it sound like, yeah, all right, I'll go check. And then I went to myself something, and I went to go back downstairs to socialize. And when I walked by his cell, he was sneaking in his cell, waiting for me to walk by. He must have known or seen me walk by, and he was already in his cell. And when I walked by, he came out of his cell with a fucking haymaker, hit me on this side of my face. It fractured something here, fractured something here. I hit my head against a bar to stop me falling to the first floor, and that knocked me out. Hit my head against the bars, knocked me out. I fell backwards and landed on the back of my head. In front of my brain bounced off the front of my skull. I had like a seizure and I went out. I came right back, but I went out. But I was out. I wasn't up like I'm talking to you. I was still out. They rushed me to the hospital. I got to keep this on so you can hear me, but they had to cut out that much of my skull. This much of my skull got thrown out and put into the garbage because at first it was like a thermostat looking thing sticking out of my head. It was a pressure gauge because my brain kept swelling. And the doctor was like, called my mom, was like, your son's brain is still swelling. It's a ridiculous amount. What even the meds? He's gonna die. Like, there's no bringing him back this time. He's gonna die if I can't do what I have to do. Do I have permission? She's like, yeah, do whatever you gotta do. Cut it out, threw it out. I was in a coma, I think a little under 3 weeks, whatever the fuck. And I came back out. I lived. I made it through it. But they thought I was crazy. When I first came out, about 7:30. I think I told the stories. Like, I was shooting all my visitors, my own daughter, my ex-wife, with fake guns. Like, I made no sense. I would, for hours, beep my machine, beep, 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 beep. No matter who was in the room, no matter who's talking to me, that's what I did. So they thought I had brain damage to the point where I'm crazy. So they almost had a 7:30 eval until my brain kept functioning a little better. Obviously I'm able to talk. I'm not no fucking space cadet. Actually I am a space cadet, but I'm not no fucking weirdo like to that point. And I was able to touch my own head. I had no skull right there. I was able to touch my own brain, And that's, you know, I kept telling the CEOs I wanted to fight them and shit. Like, I was going crazy. That brain damage shit really fucks me up. And that old hospital shit, that's a whole nother story I could tell. That'll make the story longer. But when I'm dealing with it on the street, I'll explain on the street, I'm trying to get, well, this COVID shit makes it to where you make a phone call once a month, everything's fine, you know, whoever you're with, you give them a good year, you're fine. Everything's good and everything's fine. But I'm at my parents' house. They don't want me here. They do not want me here, and it might be part of because of me, because of what I did in the past. You know what I mean? Anything I did in the past would probably still affect somebody. You know, being bad, dying a bunch of times. You know, fight. You know, laws. You know, all that's going to take its toll on somebody. So I understand that. I'm not holding any ill feelings that way, but you know, it's better if I was out. But I can't work. You know, because I have a lawsuit against the jail because. A rule, I actually got the rule, I'm not even going to show it to you guys, but I got the rule from foiling it for my lawsuit against them that the doors are to be closed at all time, the cell doors. You guys know the cell doors are open 24 hours a day, well not 24 hours a day, but they're open all day unless you leave that dorm to go to medical or court or, you know, visit or whatever, unless you leave the dorm or unless brass comes to make a walk, they make you close all the doors so it looks like they're doing their job. Other than that, the doors are open all day. That's not the rule. The rule on the paper is the doors to be closed at all times, unless you're letting the inmate to use the bathroom. You know, whatever. There's reasons, but closed at all times. And I got them on camera, you know, leaving the doors open at all times. And that left that inmate the reason to sneak on me by sneaking in himself. The doors are closed, he'd be locked in his cell. Or he would be not in his cell, and you couldn't just stand in the hall, the day area right there. The guy would be like, get the fuck downstairs, or, you know, whatever. So we'd both be downstairs. This would not have happened to me. He might not even did that because if this wasn't set up perfectly for him, you know, with the ways the CO weren't doing their job. So I got the both COs not doing their job, and they didn't walk the half hour. Every half hour they're supposed to walk and do security walk. They didn't. I won that grievance. It went all the way to the sheriff. So got them for that. Got them for the door thing, which is huge. That makes it huge. And the sergeant was signing the book too, like that he knew that what they weren't doing and was approving them not doing it, or being an insignificant sergeant and still signing the book because he didn't know what was right and wrong. So like he's part of it, the jail's part, you know, like there's 7 entities in my lawsuit. I got that, and I got the I had the mask for it right here. Yeah, it's right up here. I have also disability. You know what I mean? And these are the people that represent me, because everybody with 2 legs and an eyeball is going to get denied disability. But when you get your lawyers, you get it. It takes like 10 months, and you get it all retroactive. You get all 10 months of it, and then you start to continue getting it, you know? So I'm going to get that, but I can't work, you know? I'm a plumber. I can't do these things because, first of all, I'm a liability. You know what their insurance would be like just to hire someone like me who can have a seizure on a ladder and drop and break his arm? You know, I'm a serious liability. Not only that, I just should not be doing that stuff. That's like saying someone who's never rode a motorcycle doing that Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider stunts and shit. Like this shit you shouldn't do. I'm not supposed to work. I could be a pencil pusher, yeah, but I didn't go to college for any of that. So like I can't work. I can't support myself. So like I need this disability. I'm on unemployment, so that's how I've been getting by. But the disability will help me, and the lawsuit will help me survive and the rest of my life, support myself and my family. But dealing with it is hard because right here, oh, I'll fix that. This is my brain. This is my brain. And if you've seen, I'm not going to turn it, but if you see, I have a calendar where I used to have on my door. Well, actually, I will show you. Move that back, and you see my calendar. And look, I got to write like every fucking thing down. That's bad, you know, because if it ain't written down, it's not getting done, or it won't be remembered. And I even have to take this, which is like an Adderall. It's 5 ants to help my brain work, because my brain don't work right. I am still smart. I still have my library. You guys can see. I can still remember stuff. I'm good with certain things. Investing, stocks, stuff. I can understand that. VR stuff, computer stuff. You know, there's certain things I can do fine. But I've talked to my sister just today. I have two, but the older of the two, but still younger than me, but older of the two, she's awesome. Crystal, you're awesome. She even said, you know, with my brain damage, like, I go off. Like, I don't act right, you know, and I don't get really the respect I'm supposed. Not like I should get respect. Like, oh, don't fuck with him. He's a real official. I'm talking about, like, the little empathy. You know what I mean? Like, I have, like, a frontal lobe damage. I have brain trauma. I have, look how many meds I take. I take most of them to stay alive, and the other 20% of my mental health. You know what I mean? So I don't go off the rocker. You know what I mean? Like, some of these are 3 times a day, and there's some meds you even seen it up there that I just went to grab the fucking Vyvanse from. And I got my steroids up there, you know, too, because it messed my hormones. So the brain damage did screw me up. Everything is hard, you know. Everything is harder for me. Everything's harder for me, and I've only been able to invest a little bit. I don't really have many friends. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have friends. I have plenty of people I talk to. I'm talking about go out, but I think that's mostly COVID. And it's just not easy. I mean, this is a fake skull from a 3D computer, 3D printer. You know what I mean? I don't look fucking whack. You know what I mean? I still like, you can see my fucking earrings and shit like that, but I still look normal. You know what I mean? But I'm just waiting for this money. I'm just looking to move on, because here is just, I'm not allowed to have nobody over. I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to really even leave the room. You know what I mean? I can, but it starts arguments. So like, I stay in my room to try to stop arguments, I guess you could say, because I can't be in a fucking shelter right now. I got my clothes are even $100, like way too expensive stuff. You know, 2 computers, Oculus 2 and 1, you know, just like crazy shit. And 4 phones, you know, just, I couldn't go. And I take narcotics, you know, I just can't go to shelter. So I got to stay here until I can afford to live on my own in a room. Just a room. Maybe when they start giving us 400 unemployment plus my 200, it'll be 6 a week. And the 1,400 check, 5, you know, and all that, maybe I can, if they don't want to wait no more. But I'm waiting for spa housing. Spa housing is people with mental health problems and physical problems that you get your own apartment. It's an apartment, but you get an apartment with someone else. So it's someone else just like me in my situation. We'd have an apartment paid for by the state, you know? So, that's it. You know, if you want to learn more, if you have any questions, I'm open. I'm open like a book. There's nothing I hold back at all about anything. I do have 2 other videos, giveaways. One later is that, and the other one is Coach Boots. You know, people know about that already. But those are the videos I promised I make, because if you ask for a video, I will always make you that video. That's my promise. So I hope you guys had a good time. Sorry I kept you for 40-something minutes. I probably only kept you guys, most of you, for only like 3. I probably kept you guys for 3. But enjoy your guys' day, and have, you know, hit like, pass me around, share me, subscribe, do all that good stuff. All right, guys? I hope you have a good day. Talk to you later.